Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I've had the time of my life, and I owe it all to Margo. Aww, joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margo D. Hello, friend.
I carried a watermelon.
That was the other line I wrote down.
I thought for sure you were going to say nobody puts Sonia on the corner. I would have bet $100 on it.
It's also true, though. Nobody puts Sonia in a corner.
No, not for long.
No, not for long.
Take shit.
No, I don't take shit. We are dorking out about 1987's Dirty Dancing. And if you're like, Sonia sounds really excited, it's because Margo's never seen Dirty Dancing. This is like a first time watch. And I'm like, just fucking giddy, man. I can't wait to hear what Margo thinks of Dirty.
That's a lot of pressure.
No, even if you hate it, I'm dying to know what you think. Like, I don't care. It's written by Eleanor Bergstein. It's based on some of her real life. It's directed by Emil Ardilano. Sure, let's say that's right. And he also directed... Oh, shit. Why didn't I write it down? Oh, my God. He directed something else that I felt like it was of note, and I needed to call it out. La, la, la. Sister Act. Which is on our list.
Sister Act?
Yes, and it's on our list. So I knew I had to call it out. And of course, it stars Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, Cynthia Rhodes, Jerry Orbach. Come on. We love him.
Great cast.
Great cast. Kelly Bishop. She was hot stuff back in the day.
She really was.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about it. Wayne Knight shows up in there. This movie was so fucking huge when it came out. It came out in like August 87. Nobody knew that this movie was going to be a hit. None of these people were movie stars, really.
Right.
Like, it made so much money. It had a budget of $4.5 million. It made over $200 million, which was huge at the time. I mean, that's what a Marvel movie makes in one weekend now. But at the time, that was huge. It had 2 soundtracks. It had a concert tour, like where people from the soundtrack toured together, and there was like Dirty Dancing on stage, and everybody was Dirty Dancing everywhere you went. So Margo, I know you didn't see it in the theater. Let me ask, how did you manage to avoid it?
I created a universe for myself where I've never had to completely sit through this. So I was too old for like sleepovers and shit like that. And I also just was a moody teen that didn't like things that were popular. It was a phase I went through when I was young.
For sure.
I just went through it. It was just too popular. It was too much.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was like, that's just not going to be my thing. Did I know it was going to play on the radio for a year? No.
Nobody knew that.
Nobody. And like nobody realized like how big this was. And it was too much. Like people talked about it way too much. And because I watch it now, I'm like, this? But yeah. But these are but it's also great because it's a story centered around a young woman. Mm-hmm. It's around working class people. You know, it tells an interesting story. It's a story about abortion, by the way. So yes. That's why we picked it. It's for this week.
Yeah.
But I just somehow managed to. It's not that hard, but you know, nowadays, because you have social media, it would be every single place you go. But Correct. It's like a thing. This music played everywhere.
Yes.
In the mall, in the stores, on commercials, on every radio station. And then people would break into song and dance. And it just annoyed the shit out of me.
In the late 80s, there was this like 50s, 60s music resurgence. So we had like this soundtrack, Stand By Me, I think was in here. And then even Ferris Bueller had like Twist and Shout was like a big musical number in it. So like the late 50s, early 60s stuff was super cool again. And the soundtrack is like a mix of that. So it's like the Ronettes, but then it's also like that song by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warner.
Warren.
That you couldn't get away from. Like,
or Eric Carmen, or God forbid, Patrick Swayze, that horrible song.
This is how much we all loved Patrick Swayze back in the day. I mean, I always loved Pat. And you and we have done many a Patrick Swayze movie on here. We have established we are fans. We love Patrick Swayze. This is how much we all love Patrick Swayze back in the day. We made his crappy song like a top 10 hit. That's how much we loved Patrick Swayze. That's not a good song. It's not.
No, it's not in a great key for him. It's sort of, we'll talk about this later, but there's a Hulu series called Candy. That's about a murderous. We'll talk about that, but they use the song "Don't Give Up on Us, Baby" by David Soul.
Oh,
and it's
my God.
the same thing. Like, it's just this plaintive love song by a blonde guy that was like really famous. And
she's said, well, can he sing? Wind.
Sure.
I'm like, she's like the wind. What does that mean?
She's gone, Sonia. She's just there and gone.
She fucking blows.
She's out of there.
So let's go through it. The movie is set in the summer of 1963, and Jennifer Grey, she's real cute. She's
adorable.
She's adorable
in this movie.
Everybody drink. Like, I know that, like, she clearly, like, she didn't like her nose, and she's had some work done, and that, you know, that's fine. If she wants to have work done, she should absolutely do those things. I think she is adorable, and I love her in this movie. But
everything about her is great in this movie. Her hair, her figure, the clothes she wears, everything.
Yeah, I'm like, I would wear quite a few of the things she's wearing in this movie. She's wearing like some print dresses with cardigans, and I'm like, I dress like that now. That's yeah. So she plays Frances Baby Houseman, and her family is Jerry Orbach is her father. We love him. So Jerry Orbach is her father, and then Kelly Bishop is her mother. I think everyone probably knows her as the mom from Gilmore Girls. She's so beautiful. She's so much younger than him, but that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. And then we have the sister. And
I've never seen the Gilmore Girls. Sorry.
Oh, good. Hey, good for you, man. I get it.
Sorry.
It's fine. She plays like the grandmother in Gilmore Girls, but she looks beautiful too. And then there's the sister Lisa, who's like the older sister's pretty vain. And Baby's the one who's like, she's going to college. She wants to join the Peace Corps. Her whole thing is that she wants to change the world. And the family goes to this upscale resort in the Catskills. And it's like, charades and croquet and fancy dinners, and almost like what you would get on a cruise now.
Yes,
right?
That is cruise living. Yes.
Yeah, and then there's like a class division here. There's the people who are at this resort as guests, and then there's the people who work there. We got some upstairs, downstairs things going on, and that includes Patrick Swayze's character, Johnny Castle. Such a movie name. Johnny Castle.
And his accent of weird descent.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure where he's supposed to be. He just should have kept his speaking voice.
Yeah, he's fine. Like, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but that's okay. And Cynthia Rhodes is like his friend. Beautiful.
She is breathtaking, and her dancing is spectacular.
Yeah, she is gorgeous. She is all legs, beautiful eyes. Like, Cynthia Rhodes should have been a huge star. I don't understand.
She married Richard Marx and became a mom, and she moved to Chicago and she was done.
Yeah, and that, I get it.
It's valid.
Yeah, totally. She did Flashdance, and we did an episode on Flashdance, and if you haven't heard that one, go back and listen to it, because I think we had a lot of fun with that one. Cynthia Rhodes should have been the star of Flashdance. No, whatever. Jennifer Beals is beautiful, but she can't really dance.
Or this. I mean, honestly.
Truthfully, Cynthia Rhodes also could have been the star of this, but
I mean, yeah. I mean, we have to see everything through Baby's eyes. Also, the name is annoying.
Yeah, I think that's part of it too, though. I think it's supposed to be that kind of, but yeah, it's demeaning. Well, and she even says, like, everyone called me baby and I didn't know enough to know any better or to not like it or something. So it makes sense. But Cynthia Rhodes is so, so beautiful in this movie. And I wish I could dance like that for sure. And let's see. We start seeing the division. So there's baby goes to like a staff party. And that's where she carries a watermelon to the staff party. And she walks in and it's like this whole other world. Like everyone is dirty dancing. They're all bumping and grinding. It's like Hairspray. It's like the movie Hairspray that we just talked about. They're all like bumping and grinding on each other. And it's like they're doing it with their clothes on kind of thing. And she is like, what am I seeing? And I've totally been baby at parties. Like I've been the girl who walks in and I'm like, what is happening?
These are older teenagers. They are doing things. I don't know if that's okay or not.
Yes. By the way, I'm still kind of like baby at parties when I walk in and I'm like,
oh yeah, I'm terrible at making conversation.
Okay. In a pre-COVID world, I walked into a party and there were people doing coke there. And I was like, what? I was like, grow up, Sonia. But I was like, what is happening at this party? I'm fucking out of here. Because I'm a square. We all know this. What did you... So there's so many like iconic scenes in this. And one of them is baby walks into this party and everybody's dancing. And then Johnny and Cynthia Rhodes' character, Penny, they dance. And they're so good together.
Yeah.
Like super beautiful, amazing dancers. And you think they're a couple, but it turns out they're not. And Johnny teaches baby how to dirty dance. What did you think about this scene?
I enjoyed it. I love the dancing parts to it. And I like watching Patrick Swayze dance. It's always a pleasure. And Cynthia Rhodes is a beautiful dancer. And everybody else there is a great dancer. I mean, I am the Jennifer Grey of all this. I walk in, I'm like, I don't know the steps. Yeah. I don't like people really close to me. That makes me uncomfortable. Yeah. But the music's really good.
It is really good. I would put a mask on at that party, just saying. They're all 100% going to get COVID. Oh, I know the other thing I wanted to point out. So the owner of this resort is someone named Max. And baby witnesses a conversation where Max is telling all these waiters. And all the waiters are like young, white college boys. And he tells them all to charm all the daughters. And he says, even the dogs. And I'm like, gross. And then Johnny and his crew walk in. And of course, this is when we first see Patrick Swayze as Johnny Castle. And he's like, leather jacket with his like black sunglasses on, even though it's night.
Did you read that he wore a girdle?
No.
He wore a girdle to keep himself really slim looking because he was 34 when he made this. He wanted to look younger. So it's, at a certain point you can't lose too much weight because you look older. Yeah. But he was wearing, he looks great though. I mean, he
does.
He has his own Skims going.
Good for him. I did not know that. And nobody in this movie looks like a teenager. But like,
yeah, it's a choice they made, which is good.
Which is, I mean, Jennifer Grey was probably late 20s. She's playing someone who I guess is 18 because she's starting college.
But she played Ferris Bueller's sister. Like she was playing 17 the year before.
That's true.
So that's, and if everybody looks around the same age, it's fine.
Yes.
Because also, teen actors, it's a real roll of the dice who are good and who aren't.
True.
Yeah.
There's also Max's weird square grandson, Neil, who's like part of this, who shows up every once in a while, and he's such a dick.
He's just, he's basic. He's just one of those, Yeah. He's related to all this.
Yeah, and he's also, he's just like 100% like the kind of guy who's like, do you know who my grandfather is? Like, tries to impress women with money, and it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
He's not like an evil person. I'm like, who's the evil person here? I guess Robbie the Creep. They call him Robbie the Creep.
Died.
The actor did?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know this either. You really dorked out.
I looked at some trivia, and the guy who played Robbie, who's the one that gets Penny pregnant, right?
Yes.
He died of a heroin overdose in like 91. Yeah, it's terribly sad. It's bizarre. This movie, I just kind of is a journey, like all this stuff. Like Jerry Orbach is playing the nicest dad that has ever existed.
He is.
I think that's what it is. I think it's like dad porn. Like,
yes.
I never would want a dad that was like, "Can I have $250? What are you going to use it for? Can't tell you. Is it legal? Can't tell you. All right, I'll have it tonight."
Yeah, he is the nicest. He is the nicest dad. So the reason she borrows that money is she discovers. Well, they reveal that Penny is pregnant. You don't know who the fuck. Well, no, they tell you it's Robbie.
No, it's Robbie. Yeah, Robbie the creep.
Yeah, it's Robbie the creep, the waiter for their table, because every table has like an assigned waiter. And he's already like pursuing Baby's older sister too. So it's like,
yeah, and other women there.
Yeah, it's like extra gross. So abortion is not legal at this time. So, feels appropriate to talk about Dirty Dancing right
that's
now.
That's why we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like how they talk about it in this movie, because she wants to make this choice. Her life would be Robbie is not going to take responsibility for what he's done. She thought Robbie loved her. She thought they were going to be together. He is, even though he has the money, he's not going to do it. He actually says to her at some point, he says to Baby, some people count and some people don't. And then he loans her his copy of The Fountainhead. And I'm like,
oh God.
Oh my God.
Hit him on the head with it. Right?
Yeah. And then she Baby dumps a bunch of water on him or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, he would totally be a MAGA creep right now. Like, yes. He would 100% be a MAGA creep.
He's somebody that would vote for Paul Rand.
Yes.
Rand Paul. Rand Paul.
He totally would. He isn't going to help her. So Penny has heard that a quote unquote doctor is coming the following week, and he will give her an abortion for $250 because abortions are not safe or legal. It all has to be like on the down low. And $250 is quite a bit of money for that time. And the fact that Baby wants to help because she truly believes that she is supposed to be helping people. And
she's a good person.
She's a good person, and she can get the money, so she wants to help them. And she asks her dad, and he's so fucking nice. By the way, my dad wouldn't give me $250 now.
Fuck no. No.
My dad would be like, what do you need it for? I can't tell you. Is it illegal? No, of course not, Dad. He'd be like, well, good luck. Bye. Like, he would not do that. But Jerry Orbach is like the nicest dad ever, gives her money. And so Penny is going to have this abortion, and Jennifer Grey's character Baby is going to step in for her and fill in and do their mambo act at another hotel.
Right.
Yes. So there's that whole thing. But how do you think they handled the abortion stuff in this movie?
That's the stuff I like the most. Yeah. Strangely enough. I mean, it was realistic. Like, this would be a choice she had to make, and she'd have to depend on her friends to help her because he's being a douchebag.
Yeah.
So she gets this operation, and there's an infection. There's some sort of problem. And because Jerry Orbach is a doctor, Baby runs down the stairs, gets her dad. How much did he hate having to run up those stairs, do you think?
I'd be like, forget it. It's not worth it.
She's gone. Forget it. But he goes up and he has compassion, of course, and he's a doctor. Yeah. He helps her. But then he thinks, is his name Johnny?
Yeah.
Okay. He thinks Johnny is the one because Johnny just looks like he's up to no good. And then he says to Baby, you can't hang around these people anymore because these women are getting pregnant.
Yes.
That's going to happen to you. Paternalistic. And she's like, no, Dad, you don't get it. She and Patrick Swayze in real life had a difficult relationship. Yes. They didn't get along when they made Red Dawn. When they made this movie, apparently, like, all those scenes where she's giggling and he's getting pissed were real.
Yes.
Like, he was really annoyed with her. He grew up dancing. His mother was a dance instructor. So he just knows this in his pores. I mean, just because you know something doesn't mean you're good at teaching somebody. That's a whole other skill set. And he seems like he would make me cry. Like, I think he's just, he would be terrifying.
I don't know if anyone else could have played this part as well as Patrick Swayze.
He has, I think, nowadays you would get Channing Tatum, I guess, because he can dance. And supposedly Chris, one of the good Chris's, Captain America.
Oh, Chris Evans.
He supposedly can dance.
Oh, God. Yeah. I just love him more.
I know. Yeah. It's distracting.
Patrick Swayze he was like almost like fearless in that he wasn't afraid to be vulnerable. Like, he's like tough guy, but he's also vulnerable. Like, that's why he can do something like this. This is why he could go on and do something like Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. Like, he's not afraid to like
of his feminine side.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I think Johnny required that because he is like he has a tough exterior. And then slowly throughout the movie, like, he is really impressed with Baby. He's impressed that she's doing all of this when she doesn't have to. Like,
no, and she gets better at it, and because she practices.
Yeah, and she's working really hard.
Yeah, so he, like, of course, bangs her.
Here's your reward.
There you go. Here's my virginity on a platter for you.
Like, and
this is also, sorry to interrupt.
No.
This is what I get. I think everybody wishes their first time would be like that.
Totally.
Male or female. I think you just wish, like, I wish she was on vacation with somebody really dreamy. You know, we could go for hours, nobody knows about it, and then we could just leave.
Yeah. There's a lot of conversations going on right now about the female gaze. And this movie is directed by a gay man. And I think that has something to do with what we're seeing here. But like, Baby is constantly, like, when she first sees Johnny, she's like, oh, hello. Like,
right.
And the way she looks at him is always like, that's yummy. Like, he looks like a delicious dessert or something.
And he is.
And then that love scene is 100% like the feminine gaze. Like, it's not about, it's not exploitive. It's not about, like, look at Jennifer Grey's bra, or she's not topless or anything. And it's just, and she makes the first move.
Yeah.
She's just, and she's got her busy hands and how it, like, gently, like, runs over his butt. Like, all this stuff, like, it's just very female gazy. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I was like, more of that, please.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. This audience, the person who directed this and the people around who packaged it knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They understood this is not going to be a teenage boys movie, which is what most movies are. Either for older couples, like, this is for women. This is for couples. I mean, it's this movie mainly for women. This is this is for women. This is like if Lifetime movie had a really big budget, they'd come up with this at that time.
It's hilarious because here's another example of a movie made for a low budget for women that goes on to make a shit ton of fucking money. And you know what happened? A million articles came out where they said, who knew women like to go to the movies? I bet the movie industry's going to totally change now. And we're going to get a million movies for women. No, it never happens. Never.
There's like one a year if you're lucky.
Yes.
There's Beaches, maybe. And then everybody rolls their eyes like these chick flicks. I'm like, we're starving for this entertainment. Like, can you not understand? Like, we make money. We'll spend that money on this.
Yes.
And they did. They bought the soundtrack. Like you said, I forgot about the tour. Good God. Did you go to the tour?
No.
Because you really described it well. I was like, Sonia was fucking there.
No. I probably really wanted to go, but didn't go. I would have been 16 when Dirty Dancing came out. So I maybe was 17 when the tour was going. I was still in high school. I wasn't working because I was too shy to even keep a job, y'all. I worked at a Subway sandwich shop for 4 hours.
I worked at a Roy Rogers.
I fucking ran away from that job because I was too shy to take people's orders.
Really?
This is what we're talking about, my friends.
Yeah, so you and I are in different spots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have had the money to go to this kind of a tour. I would have had to ask my parents. And
see, I've been working since I was 14. Like I was working any job I could get.
Yeah.
And part of that budget was I was going to see every band I could.
You're like my sister.
Money well spent, by the way.
Yeah, my sister was like that. Michelle was working at 14 and not shy, and she was super, super into it like early. And I was like, it took like all my courage just to go to school every day. Like I was like emotionally drained by the end of my day. So shy. And now I talk on podcasts.
Right. But I remember this. So I was working at the mall at the time. And I remember like, everywhere you went, people wore Dirty Dancing T-shirts. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I think Oprah did a show about Dirty Dancing because it was such a thing.
This would not surprise me.
Yeah. And I think like somebody said that they were a psychologist and they wear a Dirty Dancing button. And when they were talking with clients, they would encourage them to talk about their first time having sex because of this movie. I'm like, it's not going to be as good. It's probably not going to be as comfortable. Like, but that was her intro for people. Like, it's so weird. This movie, like we were talking about the word zeitgeist the other day about I Am Woman, and the song, like this movie just hit a thing. It's late 50s, early 60s. Supposedly America's very innocent. Everybody always talks about it's an innocent time. I'm like, no, there's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of bullshit happening.
Innocent time for upper class white people.
Yeah, who could afford to go away for a month in the summer.
Yeah.
Which sorry, if those of you live in Europe who are like, what are you talking about? Like,
we all do that.
Crazy here. Yeah. That's crazy in America.
I love when she agrees to like fill in for Penny and she's going to learn the dance. I like that she's not good at it right away. Like she works really hard at it. And of course we get like a dancing montage, and there's one to Wipe Out. The first one is Wipe Out by the Beach Boys or whatever. And I love the scene where she's trying to like do her steps across the bridge and she keeps getting really frustrated and like I'm like, I took a dance class like right before COVID hit, and I was like, this will be fun. It turns out, y'all, dancing's really hard when you have to learn choreography. It's really, really hard. And she works really hard to get it. And then we get another dance montage with Hungry Eyes.
That's where you kind of like, that's where I roll, because that song you just couldn't escape. Mm-mm. You still really can. It's used for all these commercials and stuff.
I still sing that song sing it to my dogs all the time when they're looking at me and they're drooling and stuff. And I'm like, hungry. I'm a fucking goober.
I was singing to my cats today, and it was listening to Sirius 80s, 87, and I forget which song it was, but I was like belting it out.
Nice.
Like I was enjoying it. Yeah.
Such good music in the 80s.
MTV was fun then.
It was so fun. I want to say the chemistry between Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey is really, really good in this movie.
I think the fact that they don't really like each other helps.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like it really kind of gets under their skin.
Yeah. They don't look, because they don't look like they should be together.
But no, I wouldn't put them together.
No, but it works.
Yeah, it does work. And I like I do like the relationship with her family. Yeah. I think that's I like her sister. Yeah, she's a little vain, but she seems like she's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, she's a good person. She's not a bad person. Yeah. There's a scene later in the movie where she's singing for the talent show.
Yeah, I liked it.
And she's singing this like, it's like, like that. It's real bad. It's so funny. It turns out that actress co-wrote that song.
Yeah, she made money off of it.
That's amazing.
Like, how fucking brilliant is she? Yeah.
And it's I wonder if she really can sing. Like, it's funny to me when people I sound like her when I sing. I 100% am convinced that I sound like That's why my kid is always like, no, mommy, no, whenever I sing.
Get me a snack.
Like, I need more lunch. Get in, stop singing. So we get many, many dancing montages here.
And then montages.
And I know here I turn into the Chris Farley show where I'm just like, I love. But I do love that they actually have conversations and get to know each other. And there's a really sweet scene where they're out on like a log and they're balancing on the log. And he's talking about how he got into dance. She's a curious person. Like she's nice to people. She asks questions. She's very curious. They actually have a conversation. And then they do this thing where they're practicing the lifts, which look really scary to me. And they're doing it in the lake. And I was like, it's so romantic.
I get why people like this. Yeah. It's very, very romantic. It's very cute.
Yes.
It's like you said, it's the female gaze.
Yes.
I think this is like a really souped up Lifetime movie. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
I like Lifetime.
Yeah, no, we would never use that as a negative, by the way.
Never. It's not a slur. But because it just knows what it's, and that people are like you said, they're just sort of like, how do we market this? It's because if boys don't go, how do we know? Yeah. Like it's, just make a good movie, just have a point of view.
Yes.
And stick with it. I liked Jerry Orbach. It broke my heart, that scene where he's like, you broke my heart. What does he say? Like, baby, you disappointed me or something. And
yeah. You broke my heart. You're not who I thought you were.
It's like, watch your language, sir. I mean, that's hard.
Like nobody wants to hear that shit.
Yeah.
From their dad.
But he seems like he's a good guy. He's a solid guy.
Yeah.
I liked her mother very much.
Yes.
I thought the people I think that whole speech about the guy that ran the place, like, oh, people are going to Europe after this. Like, how much fucking money do these people have?
Seriously. They have so much money.
They have so much money. I mean, that's the thing that we have to keep remembering. But I do. Yeah. And then we have the scene, which is what I also felt like the videos for MTV it was just like with Flashdance. It consisted of all these scenes from the movie. Like, you know what the movie is completely about.
Except
if you watch
abortion.
Hungry Hawk. Yes. You don't know about, right. We don't see a bloody, Cynthia Rhodes laying on the floor. We missed that scene. I think we see Jerry Orbach with a medicine bag. We don't really know what's going on with that. But other than that, I mean, the end of the goddamn movie from those videos.
For sure. Yes. Yeah. No. Everything those music videos tell you everything you need to know about the movie except for the abortion subplot.
Exactly. And if you like that in a movie, you're going to go see it because guess what? It's 1987.
Yeah.
All the good movies are all rented out on Friday by like 8 a.m.
Yes.
You're gonna do this. You're gonna go.
Yeah.
And you'll go. People went multiple times.
I saw it multiple times in the theater.
Really? How many do you think?
For sure 3 or 4. Wow. Like I went to the movies all the time. I went with my friends. I went by myself. Like there was a dollar house in my town. I rode my bike to the dollar house and I would see whatever was playing. I didn't give a fuck. Like I was like, it cost $1 to see 2 movies. So eventually Dirty Dancing ended up there. So I saw it a few times, but I saw it like opening weekend because I saw a preview for Dirty Dancing and I was like, what the fuck is that? The title is so stupid. Dirty Dancing.
It's so bad. It's such a, but I don't know, maybe it's the alliteration that kind of caught on with it.
Yeah.
You would think that they were humping each other. They're way sexier in the John Hughes movie.
Yes.
In Hairspray.
Yeah.
The original Hairspray we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also once again, back to the abortion subplot. There's a scene where like Penny is like hemming a dress for Baby so that she could do this mambo number at the other hotel. And, just lets her know, like, thanks for doing this. I don't, just so you know, I don't sleep around, and then she says she's really scared. And it's like, that scene hits a little different now for me. 'Cause I'm like, yeah, it's fucking scary. Like,
yeah,
what she's having done is like not going to be done in a safe environment. And what if something does go wrong? You can die. That's really scary.
You don't have Jerry Orbach and he's gone, guys. So Yeah.
Yeah. It's really fucking scary. And this is what we're headed this way here. And that's really scary. And it's not for, I mean, they say this all the time. Like, you're not limiting access, or you're not denying women abortions here. You're just denying women safe abortions. And you're not denying rich women safe abortions.
They can always figure things out.
They are going to get their safe abortions no matter what. But like, if you don't have money, if you don't have resources, you're going to get desperate. And that's really scary. It's the
bummer. Let's go back to the fun part.
Yeah, let's go back to the fun part. So I
just think it's a classic movie. I think I get why people loved it. I found it very watchable. I love the clothes. I loved most of the songs.
Yeah.
Some of them, a couple of scenes, I don't know if it was this version. I saw it on HBO Max.
Yeah, me too.
There's a scene where they're lip syncing to one another. I could barely hear the fucking song.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I noticed that too. It's in the movie. It was in the original movie. The like, yes, Mickey, how do you call your lover boy? Come here, lover boy. I don't know why the sound was turned down on that scene. I noticed that too.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's really weird, because there's a couple times where the sound was really off, but I could see it's a small production. I'm curious why they picked Labor Day weekend. I don't know what else was released that summer, because it's this is such a summer movie.
Yeah, I've got you. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
I wanted to say how much I laughed this time when they do the show at the hotel and she goes to do the lift and she doesn't. And then instead she like does this like hitchhiker dance move with like thumbs. And it's like, Of course, Margo can't see me, but she's like got her thumbs sticking out. And I'm like, I dance like that. I dance like that all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. I might have gone to the bathroom.
Okay.
I might have missed something.
Totally acceptable. I just still think it's funny. Let's see. We talked about abortion. We talked that they liked each other. Oh, yeah, there's the tough scene where he says, I'm disappointed in her. I'm like, how dare you?
Oh, my God, that devastated. Honest to God, I'm like, did Jerry Orbach hate that line, too? Because I just was like,
Yeah.
Because up to then, I'm like, he's a dream dad.
Totally. And here's the thing. He raised her to be a really good person. And I like that she starts standing up for herself. This is where she realizes, like, not everybody has equal opportunity. And she got laid. Good for her.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say.
Yeah. Baby is a really good role model. And we talked about this when we talked about Hairspray too.
Tracy Turnblad.
Tracy
is amazing.
Is an amazing character and an amazing role model for people because she's honest and strong and brave, and she doesn't give a fuck what people think.
I think 10-year-old Margo would have loved this movie.
Yeah.
If this movie existed when I was 10, I would have loved. But it also would have ruined me because I would just think your first time with a boyfriend, your first would be magical, and you'll fade to black, and then we come back and you're rolling around and no.
Yeah. There's all of that. We get a fight with Robbie the creep where he gets beat up, and I'm like, I like that. And there's just this whole other subplot about wallets getting stolen and Baby like confessing to her dad about.
Can you hold on a second?
Yes.
Alexa, stop. I'm sorry. My alarm was going off.
No worries.
This is a time to take a quick break.
Yeah, do it. Break time. So yeah, there's these other subplots about like stolen wallets and that stuff I didn't. Yeah, and there's also these like a reference to like a bungalow bunnies, which are the wives that stay there all week long while their husbands like come up on weekends and play cards, and these women are just throwing themselves at Johnny Castle all the time.
Can you blame them?
No, I totally
can't. Come to visit, I'm like, really?
And that's another thing about the movie that happens. There's no Max, the owner, at one point says like he refers to them as the bungalow bunnies, and that he seems to feel sorry for these women.
we're supposed to pity them.
Yeah.
That's always the point in these movies, because this is not the first time they've had this kind of a subplot in a movie about a middle-aged woman getting some action, and people always want to like, isn't that lame and pathetic? When a guy wants it, they're like, oh, I get it. He's, he needs it, but she needing it is like pathetic. Right. And maybe she's just really sexual, and whatever. I get tired. That's a theme I get tired with.
Yeah.
It annoyed me then, and it really pisses me off now.
And they turn her into, here's the, like, because they reveal, like, he talks about the bungalow bunnies, and he says, I get it. Like, it must be, he says something about, like, it must be lonely, like, the hardship of it.
Yeah.
Like, he seems to have some empathy for her. And I was like, oh, what an interesting thing that I just didn't pick up on before. But then they take that character, Vivian, and they make her a bitch. By feeling like she's betrayed by Johnny because Johnny decides to be with Baby instead of her, and then makes up the story about wallets being stolen or whatever. And it's like, really?
Yeah, we didn't need that subplot.
No, it really didn't. And and it turns out this little old couple is stealing wallets.
Which that did make me laugh.
I'm like, what? So, but Baby like confesses to her dad that she's like sleeping with Johnny, and that's when he gives the like, I'm disappointed, and you're like, ouch, how dare you? And Johnny gets fired. He has to leave. He leaves, and we do get like some really sweet scenes like between the sisters, where like Lisa's like, let me do your hair for you, like I'll make it look really pretty. Like it's a sweet gesture that it doesn't spell out everything between them, but it's sweet. And it is at this like, so then there's like a final party, like the big party with the talent show, and we get the it's so bad. I love it so much. And Johnny shows up because he's gonna disrupt the whole thing, and that's when he says the very famous, nobody puts Baby in a corner.
And I was like, did people applaud when that line? Because I laughed.
No.
Kind of, because I've heard it enough before.
Yes. No, when I saw it in the theater, people laughed.
Because he says it very seriously. That's what, like, I was like, is he serious? He's very serious when he says,
yes,
nobody puts Baby in the corner.
Yes. And then he takes her up on the stage, and he's like, and I'm going to do my kind of dancing, and I'm going to do it up here with the best partner. And like all the staff's there like, yeah. And then they play I've Had the Time of My Life, and they dance, and they do the lift, which...
And this is a song that won't exist for another 18 years.
Yeah, totally. The song is pretty modern.
Very modern sounding.
But it's fine. Like, whatever.
No, it's fine. I'm just goofing on it.
Yeah. So, and then everybody starts dancing. Like, they win over the crowd. Like, the old ladies, like, throw their mink stoles off and start dancing. And Baby's mom, like, is, like, dancing. And that's what I was like, Kelly Bishop. I mean, she is still very, very beautiful, but I was like, she was hot stuff. I think she was a dancer. She's like in one of the original Chorus Line casts or something. I was like, she's beautiful. What did you think of I Had the Time of My Life? Do you think that song is...
I hated it then. I find it annoying now. I'm sorry. This is where teenage me is just like, really? I knew somebody... older than me who hated the song I Will Survive, and she just found it annoying and cloying, and she's like, who knew you would hear it 20 years? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then the song comes on, I'm like, oy. Yeah. It's the fandom around it. That's when I get a little, it's fine. What am I talking about? It's a totally fine song. It's
just not your jam, which is totally
It's
fine.
not my jam, but it's a nice way to end the movie.
Yeah, and there's, the very famous scene where they finally do the lift, and I know, judging by TikTok, that like people who are like a little bit younger than us, like are really obsessed with this lift. Like it's been parodied in other movies, and it's in like, is it called Crazy Sexy Love, Crazy Something Love? The one with Ryan Gosling and...
I didn't see it.
Oh, where there's like a whole thing about the lift, and like if you go on TikTok, there's all these couples that have jokes about doing the lift, and it's a thing. It's a thing. I would never let anyone lift me because I know that they would drop me.
No, I have no trust in anyone.
Yeah, same. Do you think Baby and Johnny are still together?
Oh, God, no. They split up. She went to Barnard or something like that.
Yeah, she went away to college.
I don't think it was acrimonious. I think that they were there for each other at a particular spot in their lives, and it was important and special. But I mean, I'm being a classist snob, but I'm just sort of like, she's smarter than him.
Yeah.
She like eventually she's gonna be like, okay, he's pretty, but
yeah. I'm like,
get some fights.
I think they're like young. It's like a young.
It's young love.
Yeah, there's certain people like you meet at the right point in your life, and you guys kind of help each other along, and then you part ways. And I think that's what would really happen. I know they're talking about making a sequel now, and I'm like, I assume that in the sequel, Baby and Johnny will have stayed together in some way.
But he died, and so she's dating?
Who knows?
Yeah, because I'm like, spoiler, we lose Patrick Swayze.
Spoilers for real life, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, how's that going to work?
I don't know what the sequel will be. You know what it'll probably be like her daughter or their daughter, like meet someone. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know that it's a thing. Let's see. What else? Did you have a favorite song on the soundtrack? Some of these are classic songs, so.
No. Oh, no. I like the Otis Redding song.
Oh, These Arms
Love
of
Man.
Mine. That one.
Love Man.
Oh, where's Love Man? I'm just looking at a list. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. There it is. Sorry. Yes, that song is awesome.
That is a great song.
I love that song. I was.
Call.
It's such a good song.
He tragically died.
That was a bummer.
Who supposedly the mafia ran the record industry for decades, and somebody wanted to sign him, and his people said no, and then supposedly he died in a plane crash. Otis Redding, and he was good friends with Aretha Franklin, and Aretha Franklin refused to fly after that because she was convinced that was going to happen to her.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's right. I love Otis Redding's songs. His voice was amazing.
He was one of the best. Absolutely.
For sure. Do you want to hear some of the other? Oh, wait. I have a few things. There's
really?
Other people.
There's more to talk about?
No, just other people. Other people.
I'm laying on my couch like, there's no more Dirty Dancing, is there?
Just that apparently Winona Ryder and Sarah Jessica Parker were considered for Baby at one point.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And Sarah Jessica Parker in particular, like she's a dancer. We did Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
we did do Girls Just Want to Have Fun, so we know how talented she is.
And then the people also considered for Johnny or Billy Zane. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, Val Kilmer. I'm like,
yeah, he would have been good.
And then this one, I'm like, really? Benicio del Toro.
I think that's bullshit.
I feel like that's a little too early.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, he's like, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I call bullshit too. Here's the other movies that came out in August 1987. I think you'll see why this one played so well with women. Stakeout.
I actually liked Stakeout at the time.
I did too. I would be curious what I would think about it now.
Yeah, I wonder if it aged well.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to write it down. Let's do Stakeout. Writing it down. Here's a movie called Hamburger Hill.
Oh, is that Vietnam?
Yes.
Yeah.
So many Vietnam movies in the 80s.
Well, yeah, Oliver Stone. There was a whole bunch of them. Yeah.
Masters of the Universe.
I don't even know what that is.
It's Dolph Lundgren. It's like He-Man.
Oh, I like Dolph Lundgren.
I do too. I don't recall liking this movie, but I bet it has fans.
Yeah.
Here is a notorious bomb. Who's That Girl?
That is, I did see that movie in the movie theater.
I did too.
And people were getting angry, like, at this movie. They were getting so annoyed because it's so bad.
It's real bad. And I saw it in the theater too because I love Madonna and was like, yeah, of course.
I like Griffin Dunn. Yeah. That's why I went. I was there for the Dunn content. That's the only thing that kept me going.
I love it. Also, Can't Buy Me Love.
We do like that movie. We've talked about it.
Disorderlies.
Oh, that the Fat Boys?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw that.
Oh, the Fat Boys.
I think they're both gone.
Are they? Oh, that's really sad. If you can't tell from the title, they were
obese.
They were obese. That's really sad. I liked the Fat Boys actually. Monster Squad. Did you ever see? I don't even know. That's the one with like these. It's like teenager. They're like maybe 12 or 13, and like some sort of portal opens up, and all these like universal monsters come out, and it's like Dracula and Frankenstein and the Mummy, and it's
what?
It's like it's like young adult movie. It's really enjoyable. You might like it. I watched it a couple years ago. I don't know if anyone famous is in it. Let me look it up. I'm going to look it up for you right now. Monster Squad. I don't remember anyone famous in it. Andre Gower, Ashley Bank. No, there's nobody famous here. I think you might like it. It's fun. Maybe we'll watch it this October. It feels like it's an October movie. I don't know why it came out in August. Also, No Way Out.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
Yep. Good movie.
North Shore?
I don't know what that is.
That's a surfing movie.
Duh.
I'm like, I saw it in the theater, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. I saw everything in the theater, by the way. Born in East LA.
Cheech Marin.
Yes.
Born in East LA, man, I was born. And then his video. The
last two, The Big Easy, which is on our list.
Very sexy movie.
Very sexy. And then the last one, I know neither of us probably saw this one. The Garbage Pail Kids movie.
No, I don't know.
We were too old for that.
I was too old for that shit.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what the top 10 list for that weekend?
Yes.
So this is August 22nd, 1987. Number 10, Michael Jackson, I Just Can't Stop Loving You. I forget the person he sang it with.
I just can't stop loving you.
My favorite song, T'Pow, Heart and Soul.
That song is so good.
That's a dope jam.
Yeah.
The Whispers, Rock Steady.
I love that song too.
That was a good song. Debbie Gibson, Only in My Dreams. That was a good pop song.
I was so into Debbie Gibson.
I was into her. U2, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Holds up.
You could not get away from that whole album.
No, you couldn't get away from U2 in the 80s. Mm-mm. George Michael, I Want Your Sex. Great song.
It's such a stripper song. And I mean that in a good way, by the way.
No. And then Richard Marx, Don't Mean Nothing. We love him.
We love Richard Marx here. We will not stand for any Richard Marx slander.
No, here's the song. You could not escape the song. Suzanne Vega, Luca.
No, you could not get away from that. Talk about a song that's a fucking bummer.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, like a homeless kid or something being beaten up.
Yeah, I'm like, could you imagine like you're in a fucking bar or club and it's like, yeah, they're playing Luca. Let's dance. Woo! My name is Luca. I'm on the second floor. Yeah. So awful.
Los Lobos, La Bamba, could not escape that song.
I took Spanish that following year, and I don't know how many times we played. Like, I'm like, what a lazy teaching tool.
And guess what was number one?
I Had the Time of My Life.
Madonna, Who's That Girl?
Oh, yeah. It's a good song. I liked it. I liked Madonna back then.
I was mezza on her because she was too popular. That's why I was an asshole.
Oh, yeah. See?
I was an asshole.
No, you were not an asshole. You could never be.
Oh, believe me.
What else are you dorking out about, Margo?
I was watching on Hulu. It's a true crime. It's 4 or 5 parts. I think 5 parts. It has to be 5 parts. And it's Jessica Biel. It's called Candy. Mm-hmm. And it's based on, I don't know if you'd like this or not. I'm going to just throw out the plot to you.
Okay.
Melanie Linsky's in there. I mean, it's people I really like.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake plays a cop. There's some great people in here. Candy Montgomery is a woman. True story. She it's in Texas, and it's this small town outside of Dallas, and everybody goes to church. You know, it's this whole white people thing. And she has an affair with a woman that goes to her church that she becomes friendly with.
Mm-hmm.
And then the affair breaks up, and then the Melanie Linsky person, the character, her name is Beth, she gives birth to a baby, and her husband goes on all these business trips. And one time her husband has gone on a business trip, and Jessica Biel plays Candy. Candy comes over, and they have some kind of an argument, and Candy winds up hacking her to death with an axe 41 times.
Jesus Christ.
Which is twice as much as Lizzie Borden. Lizzie took out both of her parents.
Jesus.
41 times. Gets into the woman's shower, takes a shower with her clothes on to wipe off the blood.
Oh my God.
Goes home and then takes care of her kids. So they don't know who did this, and it's Texas cops. They're like, well, probably a drifter, you know.
Yeah.
And then it turns out Candy admits it, but that Candy said, I had some weird dissociated episode, and I just snapped. And there's all kinds of episodes like Women Who Snap and all that stuff, like on ID's Discovery. It's been around for years.
Yes.
But apparently, I'm going to give away something, but the character, and this is what sucks, is that the woman who died gets forgotten about. And she had 2 young kids. I know. And she was the one who was cheated on. And she seems like a really lovely person. And then this bitch gets away with it by and they let her get away with it, but then she has to move out of town. That's her big punishment. Yeah. Is that she has to live near Atlanta.
Well, moving is really hard.
It really is, Sonia. But anyway, yeah, they have a weird, because it's 1981, people, they play Don't Give Up on Us. Like, that's a big song in there. And I don't know, it was very watchable. I don't know if based on the content, I think you would want it to be switched and the person that gets hacked up.
Yeah. I'm like, this one may not be for me.
It might be. And then I've been watching Under the Banner of Heaven still.
Oh yeah, I'm an episode behind. I'm behind, but
I got to catch up with that too. But I've been really enjoying it. HBO Max, The Staircase. I'm keeping up with that. Did you see it this week?
Yes, that one I have kept up with, and I was going to bring it up again because I'm curious if anything that they're showing is changing your mind.
Personally, I think he did it.
I do too. I still think he did it.
I don't think he planned to. I'm sure it was a bad argument that got out of hand and all that. But I think there's something very phony about him and very performative.
Yes.
And it's very interesting because the producers of the original documentary are very upset about how they're being portrayed.
Interesting.
Because they're saying, you make us look like we're in on it. And we tried to be very fair and very objective. It's like, but how objective can you be when you're in the house of the person that's prepping for trial?
That's interesting because that they take that reaction because if you've watched the documentary, I left the documentary thinking, oh, he did it. Like, I don't.
Really?
So, yeah, when I saw the documentaries, I thought he did it for sure.
Yeah, I did too. My dad thought he didn't.
Interesting. So do you think the documentaries make it look like he's innocent? Because I didn't think so.
I think they get a lot of extra access. So I think they're going to be more sympathetic.
Yeah.
I think you can't help but be sympathetic to them. I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy.
Right.
As long as you don't, you know.
Yeah. Well, and his family's around and
and those kids were a lot more messed up than we knew.
Yeah, for sure. I think in order for them to keep their access, they have to be friendly.
Yeah. You can't go in there being hostile in somebody's home. They're not going to react normally. They're going to Yeah. So, but apparently this is episode 4 we're talking about, because there's been 2 times that, poor Toni Collette has to die in a staircase, and it's hard to watch.
It's fucking brutal. Like, I haven't seen something that brutal in a while. Like, they're hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch. The next one, supposedly, so what happens in real life is that an editor, this has all been told before, but an editor that worked in France on the documentary, they would ship her the tapes and she had to edit it. She falls in love with Michael.
Oh my God.
And they have a relationship in real life. And so the producers are saying, like, oh, well, you're making it look like we were favoring him because our editor was having an affair with him, some sort of emotional affair. And the people putting the show together are like, no, it's just shit that happened.
Yeah.
And that's how we see it. I mean,
there's going to be another documentary after that.
About the documentary they're going to make a documentary about the dramatization of the documentary, of the original documentary. There's been like 4.
And I will watch it. I will totally watch it.
Because Michael Peterson is batshit. That guy is wackadoodle. Yeah. Just nutty.
First of all, I wish I'm not wearing it right now, but maybe I'll put it on. I have my Nominate Toni Collette, You Coward shirt. Seriously, she's so fucking good. But Colin Firth is so good in this. Yeah. Like, first of all, how good is he that he can... Colin Firth is very charming, and I think he's very handsome. And in this, I'm just like how good is he to make himself not charming? And make himself that schlubby. And
when he's sitting by the pool with his socks and the sneakers, like the white socks.
Yeah.
And he just like, ugh.
And the voice is pretty spot on.
Yeah. I have a friend, Salma. She listens to us. She's the one that was in The Flight Attendant, episode 3. Episode 3, my friend Salma plays a person and she got the line reading. It was supposed to be just like, oh, it's Carol. And then Kaylee Cuoco, is that her name? She said, oh, just say it's fucking Carol. So she got to curse. And she said it was a great experience, and everybody was really nice.
That's awesome.
Anyway, she's from Raleigh, so she's from right outside of Raleigh, so she knows all about this case.
Yeah, I bet.
And she said the accents are terrible, pretty much. Like, for most of the people, they're not even trying. But Parker Posey is perfect, and she is.
Yeah, Parker Posey is doing such a good job.
That is genius casting.
Yes, it's so well done. It's really well done.
What else? Oh, Working Moms is back on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that I'm going to write that down because I want to check that one out.
And I'm obsessed with the song by the group is called Wet Leg. And it's called Chase Lange. And I know it's a gross name, but it's a really annoying. It could be an annoying pop song. It's like the Ramones or like punk pop. It's just very repetitive and dirty lyrics, and it makes me laugh. And
all right,
love it.
I'm going to check it out.
Wet Leg.
Have you started season 2 of Hacks yet?
No, it is on my list. I may start tonight.
Same. I've got my boy this weekend, so I've been watching Sharknado movies because Calvin is continuing his disaster movie obsession. So I have not got to watch season 2 of Hacks yet, but my sister texted me and she was like, Hacks season 2! Exclamation point. So I'm like, it's 100% on my list. I'll be watching
I'd probably watch it tonight.
Good call. I have been reading a book called Finley Donovan is Killing It, and it's by Ellie Cosmano, and it's really, really good. It's a mystery. And it's about a woman who writes romance novels, she writes like murder mysteries, and she gets mistaken for a hitman hit person. And hilarity ensues, but it's also a mystery. I'm really, really enjoying it. Like,
oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's really good. She is like recently divorced. Her husband cheated on her. I wonder why I like this book. She's got kids. You know, there's a lot of different things going on in it, but I'm really, really liking it. So I wanted to give it a shout out. So if you're looking for like a mystery that's also kind of fun, Finley Donovan is killing it. It's a good one. I'm so glad that we finally talked about Dirty Dancing. I lost my Dirty Dancing virginity.
Was it everything you dreamed it would be?
You know, it was better than I thought it would be. I have to say, it was better than I thought it would be. I'm glad I saw it. I won't ever see it again, probably. We'll see.
I hear you. I don't know, though. It might creep in and you find yourself watching it again and again. Because it's what, an hour 40? Like,
it's not even that. It's so fast. Yeah.
I'm like, it's a pretty easy watch. I get it. I know people love it. And if you haven't seen it, I can't believe you listened this far. You should go watch Dirty Dancing. It's streaming on HBO Max. Margo, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Brooklyn Fit Chick for Twitter and Instagram. And my TikTok is at Margo Donahue. And my site is brooklynfitchick.com.
And if you like the sound of our voices, we also co-host a podcast called What a Creep. We're having so much fun there, talking about creeps of the past and the present. Our episode out right now is about Belle Gibson, not Mel Gibson. We already covered that creep. Belle Gibson. And we're getting comments that everyone loves it when they get Ragey Sonia. So Ragey Sonia is in full effect in this episode. So enjoy. You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram. If you would like to get some stickers, you can email us at dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. And if you would give us a review on wherever you listen to your podcast, that would be great. And we'll give you a shout out on the show. And that is all of our business. Thanks for finally talking about Dirty Dancing with me. I'm so happy we finally did it.
Me too. I'm going to do a dive now on my bed and take a nap.
I've had the time of my life talking about this movie with you, Margo. I owe it all to you.